Hi there, my name is Saf Aslam, and today I'll be walking you through CivicDuty, a platform that shows you who your elected representatives are, what they're doing in government, and how that affects the issues that you care about. The way that it works is that I would type in my address. For the sake of this demo, we're going to use a dummy address, and from there I'm able to see a list of the legislative bodies that directly govern me where I live, my elected representatives from the state level all the way down to the county level and the municipal level, and then the actions that those representatives have taken while in office. I'm also able to see where my individual address lies in each of their districts, whether they're at large or a smaller district within an at-large district. Now, let's say that I really care about healthcare. I can click on that, and from there I'm able to see out of all of my elected representatives, these are the ones that have done something related specifically to healthcare. Now, I want to know a little bit more about that. I can first see a little bit more about my representative, in this case my state senator, but let's say that I don't even know what a state senator is. If that's the case, I can hover over this underlined term and then see a basic explanation on what that role is and does in the Georgia State Senate. The goal of this is that anybody who comes into this site, even if they don't know how their government works, can naturally learn how it works through engaging with the issues that they directly care about. Now, let's say that I want to know a bit more about how my senator has voted. I can go through his voting record, and let's say that I want to know a little bit more about this bill, HB 943. I can click on that, then see a basic plain language summary explaining what the bill he voted on was about, and if I want to know even more, I can click on that bill, and from there I'm able to see that same plain language summary, a more detailed summary on the bill, a partisan analysis, which all that it does is takes into account the yay and nay votes for Democrats and Republicans on the final version of the bill, and runs them through a basic calculation. Then I can also see the bill's timeline, which doesn't show where the bill ended up, but also how it changed through the legislative process. So in this case, it was introduced this one way, then it got changed in the House committee, and I can also learn a little bit more about the committee, or even what a committee is in the first place. And then it eventually made its way to the governor, where it was signed into law after being voted on by the House and Senate. I'm also able to see the sponsors of the bill, which are really just the authors, and I can see the same information that I saw in that timeline in a more consolidated individual place for everything that wasn't necessarily included in the timeline as well. Now, the biggest thing that we try to stress with this website is that we don't want to be a black box. If you don't believe any of the information that we have on the site, if you are curious about where we got our data, we always link to the official source of information that we're pulling from. And we don't do this just for the state legislature. Again, we do this for every governing body that you are directly under, whether that's your Board of Commissions, your Board of Education, or even your City Council. And it works exactly as it does with the state legislature. Let's say that I want to know what's going on with land use in my county. I can see what my county commission has done related to land use throughout their meetings. So in this case, I can click on this, see the same summary, see how they voted, and see the sources of official information. And once I've learned a little bit about the actions that my board has taken, I'm able to actually vote on it as an individual, effectively building out my own voting record throughout the site, so that way I can see how often do my votes align with my elected representatives' votes on the issues that I care about. That, in a nutshell, is CivicDuty, a platform that's meant to make government simple, easy, and hopefully fun to understand. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.